So a few weeks ago, I reviewed the Wolverine's Revenge issue #1 by Jonathan Hickman and Greg Cóccolo, and I thought it was okay. Pretty decent Wolverine issue. And honestly, I didn't even realize that there was a Wolverine ongoing coming out. And I just read it. I didn't read it with the intention to do a review, but I like this issue so much. I liked it more than Wolverine's Revenge #1 that I felt compelled to do a review on this. So this is the From the Ashes, A New Beginning Wolverine. It is by Saladin Ahmed and Martin Cóccolo. Right away, I am digging the cover. You have Wolverine in the forest, in the snow, very Weapon X feeling. And it's one of those situations where the cover matches what's going on in the interior. So love it all around. It's almost like an homage to the Wolverine one, his first ongoing series, where it's Wolverine as Patch on top of all the dead bodies, but he's on top of all of these adamantium skeletons, which is very cool. $5 issue, but it's a little bit oversized, 37 pages. I will go non-spoilers, and when we get to a spoilery section towards the end, I'll give you guys fair warning, so feel free to enjoy this if you haven't read it and you plan on reading it. It opens up in the Northwest Territories of Canada. You have these wolves running in the snow. You can see them going through the wind, through the forest, and we have some great narration by Saladin, and I hope I'm pronouncing these names right. I'm probably not. Great descriptive narration from Ahmed here, and we have Wolverine in his feral form here running with the wolves like Kevin Costner, but being part of a pack. Wolverine has left the X-Men. This is kind of the same as Gail Simone's Uncanny X-Men issue #1. Wolverine, really the X-Men have disbanded in this post-Krakoan era. He's out here just living his best life with his wolves, really longing for friendship and family that doesn't have any strings attached to it, just loyal, pure, living with the animals. You know, animals are better than humans. I mean, that's kind of the bottom line here. Somebody else is in this forest as well, none other than one of Wolverine's biggest enemies, Cyber. Now, Saladin does a great job of giving a very quick backstory on Cyber. If you're not really familiar who this character is, like, I gotta be honest, I know who Cyber is. I don't know shit about Cyber, but really quick, we get this backstory on how he was Logan's drill sergeant as a boy, taught him how to be a man, talks about their falling out and how Wolverine even ripped out one of his eyes. We learned that Cyber's got this adamantium skin. It's very clear on his arms that he can't age either. He doesn't have a healing factor like Wolverine, but he is very formidable as well. So he's walking through the forest. We see him approach a dead wolf. He's sniffing it. He can tell that Wolverine has been here, and he gets ran up on by some type of police force out here in the woods. They surround him with shotguns. Come to find out, they're looking for this naked man running in the woods with knives as fists, and it ain't Edward Scissorhands. So we find out very quickly that Cyber is kind of a dick. He right away knows that they're not even looking for him. He could easily say, hey, I'm not that guy, I'm looking for that guy. But he puts down his gun as asked so that he can kill them brutally with his hands, because that's what he likes to do. So quick introduction to Cyber. I'm already hooked on this book. Running with wolves, Wolverine doing his thing. Cyber, I was really sold on Cyber right away. The artwork is great and kinetic. I mean, the scene where Cyber is slapping the gun out of this officer's hand looks amazing. So we got Logan, we got Cyber, and then we're introduced to the next character in this issue, which is Nightcrawler. Now, the only kind of nitpick or complaint that I have about this book is that Gail Simone's Uncanny X-Men is going on at the same time, and it's already kind of established that Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Rogue, and Gambit are kind of forming this X-Men team again. Now, I guess this could have taken place before that, which makes a little bit of sense. Wolverine's been on his own for a while. It's before Gambit and Rogue find him, although Nightcrawler finds him here in this issue. Again, great narration. You know, I haven't read too much from Saladin, but he really gets these characters, and he has a great descriptive way of writing. I really feel like every box, every kind of narration, every piece of dialogue matters, and it's not just page fillers. Nightcrawler's giving us some exposition. They know where Wolverine is. They're kind of letting him do his thing. They know he's alive. and Nightcrawler runs up on the defeated officers that Cyber killed. Then we see Wolverine jump out as feral as can be, ready to attack Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler bamfs. It's the smell of brimstone that he leaves behind that really brings Wolverine back to the real world. He recognizes that scent, and you have this very nice scene of Nightcrawler embracing Wolverine. Wolverine lets him know he's been a little bit messed up lately post Cóccolo. He just recently lost his pack, so that dead wolf that we saw, that dead Wolverine that Cyber ran up on. So Nightcrawler empathizes with Wolverine. He understands that those were his friends, actually more like family. That's where Wolverine kind of explains why he's out there running with the wolves. Again, I just love the whole atmosphere. This is such a Wolverine look in the snowy forest running with the wolves. Nightcrawler comes out there to find him. He hands him this package. Wolverine kind of assumes it's his costume, and he doesn't really want to join the X-Men again. He doesn't really want any part of that. He wants to leave that in the past. But when we hear a scream from down the way here, he smells campfire, he smells blood, and he smells adamantium. So he kind of figures he cannot outrun his past. Throws on the costume, the good old yellow and blue, and him and Nightcrawler go to seek wherever the screaming was coming from. We see the humans. One of them has been killed by Cyber, and once the humans realize, wait a minute, these ain't the Avengers, those are those mutants. So this is we're back to that status quo where humans hate mutants. Even if they're there to save them, they blame Wolverine for the death of their friend, and Wolverine very cold-heartedly is like, man, just forget these guys, let's just go find Cyber, screw these guys, they deserve whatever they're gonna get. And Nightcrawler has to kind of check him, like, listen, man, we're X-Men, we're better than that. Boom, someone takes a shot at Nightcrawler from the distance, grazes him on his forehead. Wolverine's got to get him to safety, patches him up real quick. Then he needs to go confront the attacker, the lone gunman who shoots Nightcrawler from a distance. And then we have this showdown with Cyber. What I like about this scene is that right away Cyber gets to yapping, and Wolverine's like, bro, I know you didn't come all the way here for a conversation. Snickety, snicky, schnoing, schnoing. We get a fight, and this fight has meaning. We're seeing adamantium go against adamantium. It's making screeches and clashing of metal. And while this is happening, we see this sound kind of traveling through the distance, down in the cavern, going deep into the earth where metal is formed. And we see this like little yellow orb, like a little piece of metal. And as Wolverine and Cyber are continuing to trade blows and making this offensive metal sound to whatever this is in the earth, it's waking it up. And this kind of made me feel like Berserk vibes. It was almost like a bellet in the ground here. But these perverted sounds of metal are irritating whatever this is, and it shows movement kind of like a symbiote. So that's where I'm going to leave off. I hope that was spoiler-free enough. I'm going to get into some spoiler territory coming up here next, but just to kind of recap, writing was great. I liked Wolverine's Revenge issue #1, but it didn't feel like Hickman. It felt like that could have just been any writer with decent artwork. Now here we have a book where I feel like the writing is super strong. I'm digging the story, I'm digging the concepts, and I'm digging the atmosphere. I think the art style in this book is fine. I think it's actually really good. I didn't have any qualms with the art whatsoever. So really this issue hit on all fronts for me. Now to get into some spoiler territory here, if you guys don't want to get spoiled, it's not really a big spoiler, but I would say to check this one out. This one, I wasn't even planning to make a video on this, but after reading it, I'm like, holy shit, there's so much I can talk about. On to spoilers, you've been warned. Wolverine beats the shit out of Cyber. He even takes his other eye that he regrets not taking back when he first took whatever eye he took. He's saying your skin might be adamantium, but your insides ain't. Clack, 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 stirring him up like a blender. So Cyber speaks to Wolverine's humanity. Hey, what about your elf friend over there that you left for dead? Are you really that much of an animal that you're going to just let him die in order to kill me? And Wolverine really should have just killed Cyber at this point, because letting him go free is a huge mistake. But anyway, scene shifts. There's a doctor within those group of humans that is tending a Nightcrawler. She took the Hippocratic Oath, so of course she's going to save him. And she's mad, throwing all kind of expletives at Logan. Leaves Logan there with Nightcrawler, and Nightcrawler's happy. He's like, okay, you're not all the way far gone. You came back for me. Wolverine, the Wolverine I know and love is still in there. And then we see what's going on with Cyber. he's walking away like Ratchet, Fratchet, Clatchet, like the sticky bandits in Home Alone, walks into this cave, and he gets attacked by what we know as that little gold orb that was changing into a symbiote. Then we flash to the last page, which is kind of the big spoiler thing here. So it looks like we're dealing with this entity of metal, something that's made of metal, kind of like a symbiote made of metal that seems to repair and possess Cyber. Now he's got these gold metal arms. More of these false metal adamantium remains. So he wants to purge all of this fake metal from the earth, whatever this being is. Yeah, I will not rest again until all of it has been purged from this earth. So who's the biggest supporter of adamantium? Well, whatever you want to call it. The face, the poster boy of adamantium is Wolverine. So whatever this entity is now bonded with Cyber and is going to go after Wolverine. So, bro, great issue. I really dug it. If you have read it, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you haven't read it yet, let me know. Does this make you want to, I don't know, comment something. But I appreciate you watching. Check out Wolverine 1. Stay minty fresh. Peace.